What's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Stella Ray Herself podcast. I'm your host, Stella Ray. I think last time I said I'm your guest. And also, before I forget, I did this guided meditation and I thought I made sure to really edit it and make sure that there was no background noises or anything. And apparently I coughed or cleared my throat. I'm too embarrassed to even go back and check and re-upload. But just know, if you were listening to that and got interrupted, this one girl commented that she was in the zone, doing the guided meditation, and she heard me clear my throat and thought it was a bell or something. When you're in a yoga class and you're in the meditation and they ring the bell and it's whoa. I knew exactly what she meant. But anyway, I just thought that was really funny, but obviously I did not edit it as well as I thought because I really thought I got all the little bullshit sounds out. Anyway, how are y'all doing? I feel like I'm exhausted this week, and I don't know if it's just me and my body, or I feel like part of it just has to do with everything that is going on in the world and just that emotional heaviness. But yeah, I haven't really been sleeping that good. And then last night I slept so much. I think I went to sleep around 9 and I woke up at 6, which I feel like that's just kind of a lot. It's just a lot. And I feel like, this whole year it's kind of been like that just because of the pandemic and all of that. The energy, you just feel it. And especially when we're on social media, we're just seeing a lot of concentrated news at once. So it really does build up, and that's the balance, that we really just need to find. It's I want to stay informed. I want to stay aware. I want to know everything that's going on. I don't want, because I just feel I don't like to look at that. That's so ignorant, and I just don't want to be oh, well, back to my life. Whatever. You guys are stressing me out, because some people don't have that escape of just turning their phone off. It's just, that's life. It stresses me out, bro. It's just been stressful. It is kind of interesting to see a lot of states opening up, and even here a lot of stuff is opening up, which I feel was it ever announced? I feel no. I just feel no one cares anymore, but cases are still going up. So I just wonder, I think, who tweeted it? I think it was a mayor, or was it a senator? I don't know. Someone from Texas, some kind of government figure in Texas, tweeted or said that, kids are really just not taking coronavirus seriously. But it's you're the one that's opening everything back up. So if you're telling your citizens if you're telling your people that it's okay, they're going to be okay, let's go out. This restaurant's open. I want to go. I want to go to the club. I want to go do what I got to do because I haven't been able to do it this whole year. So how are you going to blame them when you're the one giving the okay? I don't know. So just still remain cautious, y'all. I did finally see some friends after literally this whole time. That was really cool to just be social, and I kind of knew that all my friends were and have been social distancing, so I didn't feel crazy about it. But just take precautions and just try to keep it in mind. I feel we always think that it's never going to be us, but you just don't want to be in that position. So yeah, just remain cautious. Remain in reason. I just feel everyone is over it. It's okay, yeah, I feel you, but you can't deny statistics and cases going up. So just keep that in mind. So I made a video this week about one of Freely's Instagram stories that was just so shockingly ignorant. I mostly wanted to make a video almost for myself to do the actual research and I guess just break down, word by word, sentence by sentence, what was wrong with what she said. I felt that would just be a good exercise and practice for myself, because I read it and knew that it was wrong, but I'm okay, I want to go a little deeper and actually go into why this is fucked up. So that's why I didn't really make a big deal out of it. I didn't want to it wasn't like I wanted to start internet drama. Like, I literally was just like, this isn't right. Let me just make a video. Again, mostly just so I could do the research and like put this little video together. Bro, I'm just very cautious, I guess, and I just choose to follow people that have the same, I guess, mindset as me. I follow people that are for Black Lives Matter, people that are feminist, people that are just with the shits. I don't follow any. I try, obviously if someone exposes themselves, I'm going to unfollow them, but I really just try to keep people that I follow within that category, because that's what I want to see, and I don't want to see any bullshit, because that is just going to piss me off. So anyway, and all my friends, people I hang out with in real life, people I follow online, whatever, everyone is on the same page as far as these politics go or beliefs go. So, at first the video was just like, whatever, people saying like, thank you. I'm like, it's just subscribers, people that obviously follow me because we have the same way of thinking. And then it got into white supremacist YouTube, I think. But at first I didn't see this because all the comments are going into spam or held for review. They're not just like being posted. So I went to check, because sometimes good, just regular comments get lost in there. So sometimes I go and check and just like approve comments and whatnot. And it's like all these comments that are like, white lives matter. Like, da, 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 da. It was just so shocking to see, because obviously I know that these people exist, but to actually see so many comments, because I'm just not used to that. I'm used to my whole timeline being about, all Black lives matter, trans lives matter. It was just like I was shocked and horrified. But I don't know how that video got there, because it's like, who shared this and got it to these weirdos recommended, because it was just all these different comments. But that was just really weird. It made me feel like gross, because it's like, are you guys trolling? I feel like they actually think like that, and they're like, oh, like calling me stupid, and it's like, oh my god. The statistics are literally there. It really gives me fear, and I don't want to say a loss of hope, but just like, oh my god, this is so many people in the world think like this. Oh. So yeah, I just started like blocking off them. My point to bring this up was just thank you to everyone that showed support on that video, I guess, and thank you to everyone that is with the shits and that I follow and is actively posting about what's going on, educating themselves, sharing information, resources, all of that. I know I keep saying this, but it's never gonna get old. Like, thank you guys. So on a more serious note, I felt like I could just not make this without talking about this, but I just wanted to speak on Oluwatoyin Salau, who was a 19-year-old activist, and she was where was she from? Tallahassee, or she was in Tallahassee. I don't know if she was from there. But she, has been super active in all these protests and really active on Twitter, just as an activist, and basically was tweeting. I think she went missing, and she was tweeting that she got molested by this guy that I think had offered her a ride from a protest or something, because her current living situations were just like, she couldn't go there. I don't know if someone was abusing her there or yeah, but then she went missing after tweeting this stuff, and her body was found. And that just really like broke me with everything that's going on right now and just how intense everything is, and just the fact that she was literally 19. Just everything is just horrifying. And for women in general, we just always have this fear of something like that happening. But I think especially for Black women, it's just they're just really not protected in the same way that like I would be. And especially just someone so young and someone that just was so passionate and like making a change in the world. It's really fucking sad. And this just got me thinking, I guess, about sexual assault in general and just how common it is. And you know, I feel like I tweeted this, but I feel like every woman I know has a story or has stories, and it's just so normalized. And you know, so much goes unreported or just unnoticed, or you know, something happens to us and we just try to forget about it or brush it off, or like tell ourselves, oh well, they didn't mean it, or they didn't have bad intentions, or I should have said no, I should have resisted harder, whatever. Just because there's not really a lot of resources or support for victims. If something happens, it's like, okay, where are you going to go? The police, like, what are they going to do? And especially with all the victim blaming and shaming. And it's crazy because you see people all the time, especially dudes, act like this. You know, if a celebrity, one of their favorite celebs, gets accused of something, it's like, oh no, he would never do something. Like, he cares about his family. Or like, oh, he's a family man. Like, no, oh no, that's my bro. Like, he would never, I know him. And it's like, I don't think you're actually paying attention. Yeah, there are instances of girls crying wolf, or, you know, making false claims, but there's so many more instances of actual assault that just gets swept under the rug or just goes without any consequences to the abuser or anything. There's just so much shame that goes into that, you know, the self-talk. And part of that is just how we've grown up and the messages that we hear around us. You know, like, it really starts when we're young. And that's why it's so harmful. And I hate seeing, I feel like I always see it in family vlogs because that's like, I don't know, I'm not really like around families, you know. But when the dad's like, oh, it's like a 3-year-old girl, and the dad's like, I don't want you, like, what are you doing with your belly out? Like, why are you wearing a crop top? I don't want you wearing that. Or how parents or people will just place heterosexual things on children. Like, they don't even care about any of that yet. Why are you, like, pushing this on them? Like, oh, he's such a ladies' man, or, oh, you're gonna, like, I'm never letting you talk to a boy till you're 18. You can't go on any dates. They're gonna have to go through me. It really starts with patriarchy. And especially, like, oh, like, there was a video on Twitter going around of, like, this baby lying on a bed in her diaper, and she just had her legs, you know, out. Like, it's a baby. And the dad was like, oh no, like, put your legs back. Like, why are your legs open? It's like, you're literally sexualizing a baby. And then, you know, we grow up, and if something does happen, even if it's something like, it's like, oh, well, you know, I should have said no harder. You blame yourself. Like, the victim is going to blame themselves. It's just hard not to, especially if you're already on top of that, being manipulated by whoever is abusing you, or, you know, trying to force you into doing something, coercing you. Oh, well, I should have, you know, not worn this outfit, or I should have, you know, not led them on. It's like, that's, someone is going to act disgusting regardless. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Like, no matter how many times you say no, if someone wants that control, they're going to, like, keep at it. And there's really so many different levels. You know, obviously there's rape, but then there's, you know, oh, it's a little lighter. Like, oh, maybe they're just asking you one too many times. They're just trying to get you to feel bad for them. Or like, oh no, I'll have blue balls. Like, it's gonna hurt me. Like, oh, and then you just have to. Like, or like someone just being too pushy. Those are all, I don't want to say it's all the same thing, but it's like, it's all the same thing. And it's like, you just have to deal with that. And there's no, like, what are you supposed to do if someone is like trying to coerce you, you know, like, are you going to report them? Who are you going to report them to? Who's going to care? Well, he didn't actually, like, you know, rape you, so I guess it doesn't matter. Like, you're really just reporting this for nothing. You know, it's like nobody seems to really care. You know, in this instance, when the girl was already coming from a bad situation, it's like you're not going to have that support. So it's like, literally, where are you supposed to go? I don't know if you guys watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Netflix, but it was basically just how he was, like, sex trafficking all of these young girls. And that's disgusting as it is, but these girls were like 12, 13, 14. And there were so many of them. That was just disgusting to me. And just how all the victims, like, basically felt so similarly in the fact that they were embarrassed and ashamed and just, like, confused. And, you know, it's just like, you don't want to share that with anyone to begin with. Like, you just don't want anyone to know. Even if you do report it, you know, people are just going to make you feel worse about it by asking, like, well, I don't know if this was necessarily the case in this instance. It definitely was for some of them, but I do know, like, the local, was it the police? I don't know, but local authorities were trying to, like, get on his ass. But, you know, in other situations, whatever, it's like you still have to deal with that, and the slut shaming, the victim blaming, all of that. So it's just check your friends, you know, especially guys. Like, guys really need to be the ones to check their bros, because you're just letting it happen. That just made me really, really sad. And just to know that this happens so often, and, you know, sometimes it's just like nobody even knows. So I really just wish there were better support systems and better resources. And I guess just, I wish collectively as a society we were better at dealing with this, because I feel like if, you know, we were raised, I guess, in a healthy society, it's like, because even if you had super cool parents and you were raised, like, you know, not being shamed as a 3-year-old, that shit makes me so mad. I will unsubscribe from a family vlogger if they do that. It's like, fuck up. You know, we still have influence of the media and just of society, you know, and hearing stories of, like, oh, this girl reported it and, well, they didn't find him guilty, or, like, oh, nothing happened, or, like, oh, whatever. Like, it's just very disheartening. And even, I know we all have heard the classic example of, like, oh, you know, we're taught as elementary school kids, like, well, if a guy is teasing you, if a guy pushes you, that means that he likes you. He's just being mean to you because he likes you. It's just, fuck. It's like, can we not? And it really just all goes back to patriarchy. And, oh, well, it just makes me sick. So rest in peace to Oluwatoyin Salau. And I just really hope that this can spark something to prevent this from happening. I don't know what that would be, because it's such a huge issue, but this one just really, like, fuck. I have been seeing some links, though, for free therapy, free mental health resources, especially for Black women. So I will link those down below. Since we're on the subject of patriarchy, someone commented, I just hate this so much. And I know I've talked about this before, but I got a comment today that said, I don't know how you're still single. Bitch. Oh my fucking God. Again, I forget that not everyone is in the same headspace as me and the people on my timeline and the people that I follow and associate with. But bitch, we are past that. We don't need a relationship, particularly a relationship with a cishet man, to determine our worth or to validate our worth. Oh, you're so pretty. How come you don't have a boyfriend? Oh, you're so smart. You're so, like, you're such an amazing person. Why don't you have a boyfriend? Is my worth only validated if I am sexually monogamous to one person? Like, that's basically what you're asking. And I just don't, it's like, Also, if you just think about it on a superficial level, I feel like if someone was really popping, wouldn't you like not want to be in a relationship? Because then you can just like do whatever you want. New flavor of the week every week, you know? But, I guess that would make you a whore, and we don't want to be that, you know? We want to be wifey, so I guess, you know, avoid. Bitch, it pisses me off so much. Like, it triggers me, like, fuck. And then I saw a tweet that said, men need emotional support too, not just pussy. What we're not going to do is be a man's therapist. Go to therapy. How many, like, raise your hand if a guy has ever said to you, you're just the only person I can talk to. You're just so easy to open up to. I can't talk about this with anybody else. Like, okay, yeah, maybe you're in a healthy relationship and it goes both ways and you're able to be vulnerable with each other and share things and share how you're feeling. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the guy that needs to go to therapy, and, you know, because you are a good listener, or, you know, you're just not completely full of yourself like so many guys are, he's going to come to you and just dump all of his emotional baggage onto you and then just leave, and that's it. And, you know, it does not go both ways. It's not an exchange of energy. It's him dumping onto you, and that's it. Go to therapy. I'm not here to work through your problems for you. You know, I really feel like I want to be there for people, and it's taken me quite a few instances of this happening to really, I guess, overcome it. I really have not dealt with this in a minute because I just refuse. But I just remember, especially when I was like younger, like my first adult years and whatnot, probably even before that, but I don't know. You know, guys just want you to be there. They want you to be their mom. They want you to be their therapist. What are they doing for you? Like, what do you gain from that? Oh, maybe he'll like me. It's like, no. You're literally just doing emotional support work for him, and then he's just going to go leave. And this also goes back to patriarchy, because if men were actually taught to express their emotions and to work through things, and I guess just to use their brain. Sorry, oh my God. But then it's like, I feel like you wouldn't, you know, you would maybe actually be a good listener as well, and you would be able to talk to your bros. You wouldn't feel weak or ashamed of going to therapy, which I know a lot of guys particularly do, because we are brought up in this patriarchal society where, like, men are strong. Men don't show emotion. Boys don't cry. Women are so emotional. You guys have PMS. You're always upset about something. Like, you're so emotional. You see? But really, we're all human, and everyone has emotions, and we all need to express our emotions and work through them and deal with them. So it's like patriarchy does not benefit. I don't want to say patriarchy doesn't benefit men, but, you know, you still lose some. You know, you gain a lot from patriarchy, fellas, but you also lose some. You know, if we really were living in the perfect world, you'd be able to cry. Trust me, it's great. If a guy starts acting like that to you, walk away. Be like, I don't feel like talking about this. Block him, because that's a red flag. It really is, and it's just going to get worse. So don't, you know, I see tweets all the time. I'm just a healer. I'm just like, I just have good energy. I'm just such a good listener. Like, it's like, no, you're actually, and I don't want to, like, oh my God, you know, say that you're the problem, but you just have to know when to draw the line, and I guess when to just, like, block. Because we don't want to do all this emotional work, because it's time and energy, and it's like so draining to be around someone who just dumps all their problems onto you. And that goes for like friendships as well, or just, you know, maybe you're not even dealing with like a cishet guy, but just anyone who just wants to put all their problems onto you, and then, well, bye. They call you to just dump everything, and then don't even ask you about yourself, and that's it. You know, those are the people you want to avoid, because what are you really gaining at the end of the day? Nothing. You might tell yourself, oh, well, they feel comfortable sharing this with me, or, oh, it's like they actually don't care who you are or what you do. They just are glad that you answered, that they can say this, and then they can hang up. You're like, wow, what a good cleanse. No, go to therapy. That's not what friendship is. Friendship is mutual exchange of energy and listening and being there for each other. Friendship, relationship, whatever. It's not dumping and then, oh, well, now I'm stressed and now you feel good, but I'm over here and you didn't even ask me about myself, Different. Know the difference. That is why the why are you still single question annoys me. And that's also why I really fuck with the end of Sex and the City. I feel like Sex and the City, so much of it is so outdated and low-key problematic. I wish they would redo it. I know it's not going to happen, but like if somehow you could have the original cast, but it was in present day and they were like woke and, it wasn't like the craziest thing they would ever do is like sleep with multiple guys, But I do fuck with the fact that at the very end, Samantha chooses herself and her independence over a relationship with a man. She's like, I know myself and I would be so much happier alone. I just really fuck with that. And I just feel like so much of our lives is revolved around men and proximity to men. And, oh, are we talking to anyone? Do we have a boyfriend? Oh, well, you're getting up there. Are you thinking about getting married? When are you going to have kids? It's just, let's stop. And that's not to say that you can't be in a relationship or you can't get married or you can't have kids, whatever. But just, I guess, being mindful of it and not just doing it because you feel like it's something you have to do, but actually because you want to, just taking a step back and actually looking at the situation or looking at your choices and I guess seeing, how much of it is really what you want and how much of it is from societal pressures, expectations, from your family or those around you. Again, everything we see growing up is about how to get a man, how to get a boyfriend. Oh my God, I want this guy to like me. I want my Prince Charming. I want to live happily ever after. It's like you can be fine. And I guess I'm just realizing more and more that you can really just do whatever you want. And I guess it's easier said than done because you do have to face, the judgment and the shame that others will try to put on you. But at the end of the day, we're born alone, we die alone. We got to be comfortable with ourselves. We can't let a relationship define us. We can't let, our proximity to, for a lot of women, men define us. You just have to be good in yourself. And I feel like that is when the best things happen. When you're comfortable in yourself, you're like, good. I don't need a relationship. I don't need a man, bitch. Gonna be good either way. That should be the goal, not, oh my God, I want to get married. Like, again, do whatever you want. It's your life. But ask yourself, I guess, do some reflection. Why do I want this? And I just feel like if that was the norm in society, to have our end goal not to be to get married and have kids, but to complete ourselves, to find ourselves, to be comfortable being alone, to be independent, I feel like that would just be so much healthier because we wouldn't be doing all of these things that we do to try and like get someone to like us or like, am I wifey? We wouldn't be tearing other women down. Oh my God, that's something else I wanted to talk about. This girl I follow a lot of sex workers, a lot of OnlyFans girls, a lot of hoes, and I'm here for, this is a pro sex worker page, sweetie. If you have something to say, you gotta go. So I saw this girl that I follow, just kind of through mutual friends, whatever, kind of more free with my follows these days. Sometimes I regret it. She posted something like a meme or some kind of tweet that was like, oh, I thought a bitch that has 1,000 bodies said something. It's like, and I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but I tweeted, my legs are falling asleep. I tweeted, if you care about a body count, you got to do some deep self-reflection, because I think people thought that I was, or at least one girl replied to it, and I think she thought I was talking about guys that care, which that applies too, but just also the fact that there are other women out there who are shaming other women for their sexual endeavors. Why does it matter? And it matters because we want to appeal to the male eye. Oh my God, if I have 1,000 bodies, I'm not wifeable anymore. Oh no, my life is over because I can't be someone's wife. Bitch, think about what you're actually saying. And that's why we have pick-me's. We have people who try to tear down other women for what they wear and the choices that they make because they want to be seen as the good ones. And I know I've talked about this many a time, but it never gets old because not every day, but so often I see people saying some shit. And again, not too often because I really try to control who I follow and what messages I'm receiving. For myself, I want to be receiving good messages. Even if it's like I'm seeing stressful news, I would rather see stressful news from the eyes of someone who is with the shit. I don't want to be seeing, oh no, 1,000 bodies. Who cares? Who cares? So at the end of the day, you just really have to do whatever you want and just be unapologetic. And again, a lot easier said than done because it takes so many years of unlearning and checking yourself and I guess almost being disappointed because I feel like I know for myself, the more I educate myself on issues going on in the world and, patriarchy, racism, all of these things that exist in society, the more I'm disappointed with other people and I guess the lack of awareness and the mindset in these like old ways, and just like dating becomes a lot harder. But then it's like, I'm getting more educated on why marriage is a scam. So am I really mad that my options are limited? If I know that it's a scam to begin with. So it's like, I'm kind of cool. Like I'm kind of chilling. Anyway, also, I wanted to mention this. I can't really speak about it yet because I literally just started it yesterday. But I got this book, Lies My Teacher Told Me. Everything your American history textbook got wrong. And I'm just so excited because you guys know I love talking about the scams of the world and particularly of America. And this book is just really all about that. So I was reading last night about Helen Keller and Woodrow Wilson. And I think now we're getting into Columbus. I'm so excited. God. And then I also found that a PDF, let me know if you want it, I'll DM it to you, of the People's History of the United States. I think that's what it's called. And that was a lot. I was just reading the first chapter and that was all about Columbus. And it's like, obviously I knew that Columbus was like a scammer and, why the fuck do we have Columbus Day? But just to really read the details of what happened, I was just as shocked as if I didn't even know that he was fucked up to begin with. I saw this app. I think it's an app. Maybe it's a website where you can basically search to see if there's any racist monuments or statues near you. I haven't done it yet, but I just saw it. That's great. Let's destroy these. Because someone beheaded the Columbus statue. It's like, thank you. Like, it's actually so fucked up that we have these like monuments and statues of racist people that literally killed thousands of people. That is like, when you actually think about that, it's like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, oh, our founding fathers. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, bitch. Okay, anyway, just a lot going on. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been such a fucking year. It's been such an eternity. But I'm really grateful for y'all. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for messaging me, commenting, just everything. I really feel like we're friends. Honestly, I just really appreciate you guys. So tweet me a screenshot or IG story me a screenshot of you listening so I can retweet and repost. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about in next week's episode or any video ideas, requests you have for me. And I will see you guys then.